So let's take a look at the draft, because right now Amox needs to crack his brain, because IG can always easily pull something weird out of their bag of tricks.
Yeah, and that is going to be their first pick here in the series. Could possibly be, again, the pocket picks that we have seen. Matilda also won, actually. It's
Yeah.
one of the scary priority picks here in our series. So they are going to ban the Joy first. So, okay, technically, it's going to be the same bans we're going to expect. The meta bans, Kimmy, Fanny, Chip, and this guy, Lucas. So for RSG, if you are on the second pick right now, so of course you have a chance to react on what is going to happen here on the side of IG.
Yeah, and personally, Deadeye, I'm thinking like Lucas isn't that okay? Not Lucas, sorry. Chip isn't that scary as we thought as well, right?
That's
like
the thing.
yeah, it seems like the only way you can use the Chip if you don't fight front to back. You need to find a way to basically start to do a flank. That's the only time where Chip is effective. And in this current meta, there are ways to basically pull somebody all the way out of position, but we're not going to talk about that because RSG Singapore will go ahead and ban away that Chip away.
Yes, out of position, there is Kalea 1. You mentioned it right. Kalea can be 1. Louis is also doing the same thing as Chip here. And so far, we have seen few bans going on around here in the matches with that Louis. But now, it's going to be Phobia's been taken out here.
Yep, Phobia's very strong as a EXP laner. You saw how long the Phobia's really can last in a team fight, as long as he procs everything. And don't forget Phobia's, especially when everybody's stacked together, you knock your people up with your second skill, you can just immediately follow up with ultimate over and over again. So yeah, Wise coming up from Ignite Gaming to basically take that away. But there's also weird picks coming out from Ignite Gaming. We'll also see the Esmeralda coming up, Yuta. That's something that Yuta does play quite well in one of the seasons, and I also remember his Paquito if they really want to try to cheese it, because don't forget, we talked about cross-map plays before. Paquito truly shines on those kind of plays.
So speaking of cheesy picks, right? If so many things right now, I only thought it was Estes and Baksha. Now we have to consider it as well. The Leomord.
Saber.
Oh, yes. Very aggressive as a roam. Saber as a roam.
Yeah, Beloyski roam.
Oh, yeah.
Beloyski Saber, but there you go. Kimmy getting banned away.
Okay.
That's also the Lucas. But I feel like right now it's either the Lucas or the Matilda that RSG has to leak out.
I agree with that one. If Lucas is going to be banned, for sure, IG had an opportunity here to take the Matilda, and we see how incredible Matilda is, plus going for that Leomord combo as well.
Yeah, man. This is also something that we also have to consider, right? Icon also plays the Leomord as well, so there's a lot of things that is on the table. Amos has to bend this smartly. He basically has to take away the fact that, hey, I'm playing against an MPL team, because these challenger teams that are coming into MPL Singapore, they are filthy. They don't go by the Geneva Convention. They will literally bring in the flamethrowers and just basically burn everybody in the trenches.
Are we looking for Xborg? I just
yeah.
Highlighting with this one.
Exactly.
Yes. I mean, it's really effective as well, especially if you are going to a team fight. So actually, Estes, if they ever going to be picking Estes, actually, Expert can be one as well to be a great counter here. Okay, Louis. No doubt.
Louis can easily counter against that Xborg. Kimi to a certain extent, but unfortunately, if Ignite Gaming has already banned that away. So RG, we're looking at what is the last ban. It's a very important choice, right?
Very important. I do agree. It will affect how the draft will move on from there. So if they are going to ban the Lucas here, again, they are to prioritize the Rome here for the side of IG. So if they are going to ban the Matilda, so IG has the potential to take the Lucas in. But of course, we haven't seen yet the performance that I've been expecting a Lucas here in the jungle specifically.
Yeah, definitely, right? Like Lucas, I was expecting a lot more from him. I agree with you. Technically speaking, Lucas should be nigh unstoppable. How I describe it's like a Dyrov that has CC immunity. The one more combo, boom, 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 and after that he has chase, boom, 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 you are suddenly melted immediately. So that's something that you also have to watch out for.
So RSG SG with that loss on yesterday's stake there. So this is going to be a time for them to actually bounce back. Remember, RSG now on the top of the ranks. So they had incredible sweep there. They have a great point. So this is badly needed as well if they want to secure the top 4 and you don't want to be go down below the challenger team.
Yeah, RSG, I mean, based on yesterday's standings, they actually hit top one already. I think right now is more of a flex kind of thing. To be able to be above the super team of Team Flash. At least that's something that you can tell your grandchildren.
Yes. Okay.
A bit too early, but
It's early, but yes, okay.
remember that day, that season 9, I was above the super team of Team Flash.
At least there's pride in there. At least that's history already. So they had the pride to say that one. But there you go. I mean, RSG SG. This is also still a time. A win is a win. A point is a point.
Yep.
So against Ignite Gaming here, this team you must not belittle with. We have seen incredible team fights, especially with that Ube strat that they have just shown us and this cheesy picks. So you have mentioned a while ago. This could be to be considered as well for Coach Mox here for this cheesy picks as well. Best of one series.
Yeah. I almost forgot the fact that yes, while the challenger teams can pull off these cheesy picks, RG and SG themselves can also do that. We always forget about it, right? But now we're just gonna have to wait for the last ban. There's a lot of speculations, right? There's so many permutations how we can actually bring the draft around, but we shall see. We really have to see this.
I'm going to talk about Jay this time around.
Okay,
Dr.
talk about
J.
me.
So of course,
sorry,
Dr.
Jay,
J. Yeah, he's the new player coming into this original roster compared to the season 8. Now he fits in very well. He's very aggressive. So I miss his Kufras, his tank sets there. We have seen also his Franco way back as well.
goodness.
Incredible. Yeah. The nostalgia. So only season 8, sorry. Only season 8, but it was really incredible. The sets that he can to provide opportunities here for the side of RSG to really go for all-in team fight. So this time around, okay, this is what I were asking if Matilda is going to be open here. It's going to be secured here by IG. So how can you counter the Matilda? Most likely, are they going to use the backshot themselves?
You never know. You never know. You even start to see, Team Flash starting to basically, like, what do you call that? You started to see Team Flash banning away Baxias in Challenger stage. That is absolutely telling because it's true. Because right now in this particular meta, your EXP laners are more region-y. There's a lot of region, a lot of tankiness. Your Hylos, your Hildas, your Glue, your Badang to a certain extent, but technically you don't really need it. But yeah, the sets coming out from Badang, they clear as well. These hero relies on heals and shields. Your Harith also gets countered by Baxia.
True. And speaking of Harith is pretty much open as well. So, okay, Moskov has been not yet priority picked here. So usually right now, Harith on the first week of our seeded stage, it was one of the priority picks. The Harith one, if it's going to be opened. Fanny is actually open as well. So there you go. Matilda is out. Lucas is pretty much open here. Let me see some Lucas action once again.
Kalia as well, but don't
Fanny.
forget, you also have to take into account consideration both of these two junglers from Ignite Gaming and also RSG. They are very prominent Fanny players as well. So I agree. Ignite Gaming wants to prioritize Coach Cryptic, wants to prioritize that one. But RSG, that means that they can go for the Lucas, they can go for the Kimi, they can go for the... Kimi was banned. They can go for the Lucas as well this time around if Yon wants to go for it.
Okay, Moscow. It's... Okay, unusual for the first picks, Jace. This is really unusual. You go for the gold lane and the EXP. Usually we see that one of the second
but Dunk can also go to the roam as well. So
true.
It's a good flex pick coming up from Coach Mox right here. But Moskov, this is actually kind of scary, right? The fact that not scary. It's actually true because you have a Fanny that's around. Moskov, technically speaking, does counter against a Fanny.
Moscow counters Fanny.
Yes. Cable. Go to wall.
Okay.
Second skill, go to wall. Stun. Easy.
Can.
It allows you to self-peel, right? Even though right now the Harith is literally completely forgotten by both of these two teams, Ignite Gaming goes ahead and then pick up the Grandeur and the Jushin for themselves. Once again, we're letting Chu have that Grandeur.
Scary indeed. So this is going to be one of the points that RSG SG have to consider if they are going to give breathing space here for this Granger. But of course, the Fanny first pick. Now this is now the time wherein the 4 Protect one comes in. So maybe the rest of IG here just going wreck havoc, especially with the Zushin. Fanny, very aggressive in the early. So they can actually harass, they provide the space needed here for Chu to rise up into the late game.
Yeah, Lucas completely forgot about both these two teams, right?
Yeah,
So you're
no
being
Lucas.
selected by the side of Yon. I don't foresee Yon playing Lucas because it doesn't feel like his playstyle. But yeah, RSG go ahead secures the Suyo for themselves. Which means that you basically don't need to think about the Lucas as well,
Yep.
unless you bring in Lucas to the EXP lane.
and
But
Badang Roam.
huh?
Yeah. We've seen Lucas in the EXP, right? We've seen Lucas in the EXP. But if ever Lucas is not going to be picked here specifically in this game, it's the first time we see that Lucas is not being banned, not being picked.
Yeah, that's actually an anomaly right here coming up from RSG. That's also going to be Glue, banned away by Amux. Now it's up to Cryptic. What are we looking at in terms of the bans?
So bursts here for the side of Cryptic. Okay, you have still to consider the mage for the side here of Roy. So Kimi is Kimi is out already. Farsa is up. Actually, the Badang and the Federal Airstrike is beautiful there, but I'm really concerned for this Fanny as well here for the side of IG.
Okay, Valentina ban is actually really concerning. Feels like Cryptic is actually building up to something. As of now, if you take a look at how Ignite Gaming has selected for their first round of picks, these are ultimates that you're not afraid to give away.
Correct.
Right? So, yeah, that's pretty telling. And against Roy. Now, for the side of RSG, it feels like they're locking down in terms of the EXP laners or even more tanks. The likes of perhaps even a Khalid perhaps will also work well as a ban from the side of RSG. Because you don't really want IG to have a solid front line. Even the high loss to a certain extent should also go into the banning pool.
There you go.
Ooh, okay.
Banned.
Yep, Amos is learning from Team Flash.
Because they can go for, EXP, Baksha, and possibly Estes Rome as well.
Oh man, here we go again. Yeah, Ignite Gaming can definitely do that if they want to. But Coach Cryptic right here, are they going to continue to lock down? I think you can continuously lock down onto the mid laner role, or maybe the Farsa perhaps, or even want to lock down on more high loss, because RSG, if you lock down the if you take away the high loss, I think it's very hard for them to basically have a form front line. Balang, technically speaking, is tanky, yes, but he's not known to basically absorb so much damage. He's more of an initiator.
Speaking of initiator, Gatakacha is pretty much open as well.
True
here.
that.
So Gatakacha, Badang, very good combo. So on the other side, I think they need the Gatakacha themselves as well to be on the front line here. So for me personally, the Gatakacha is on the priority here for the picks for both teams.
Yeah, Gatakacha I think works well for both these two teams. More specifically, I would say for the side of Ignite Gaming, because the Gatakacha really will lock and basically taunt anybody from the side of RSG, especially on the Moscow and especially on the Badang. But no, hold on a second. I was thinking more on the Farsa, but it's a Zaz being secured by the side of RSG, and it makes sense. The Dominator's Descent provides you with a secondary health pool so that you don't get bursted down by the Fanny.
Correct. So it can also, as you mentioned a while ago, right, can also dive down onto the formation of the lines here against IG in that sense. But it's not as bursty as the Farsa compared to the Farsa, right? So because of this lineup coming in from RSG, you want some heavy lockdown, then instant burst.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if this is going to be the same burst if the Zast has been locked in here for RSG.
Yeah, I think if you're Ignite right here, you secure the Gatakacha. You need something like a frontline. Say Gatakacha and a high loss or something. Or perhaps even a Hilda. It also makes sense because you do need some lockdowns for the Fanny to finish that kill. And Gatakacha and Hilda,
There you go.
Why not just go for both, right? Hilda goes into the and any either one can go to the EXP lane. But as a Hilda maybe goes in the EXP lane because you don't expect a Hilda to basically hard invade a Suyo in the early game, because Suyo does hit his power spikes even earlier.
Okay, if you want some cheesy picks, is this EXP? You can go for the Rome Badang and EXP here with the Minsitar.
Actually, it works.
Look at that. Look, see, I told you.
Minsitar works against a Hilda.
I told you.
It also works against a Taunt. Fanny cannot keep. Fanny
That's just
can't keep us out,
well,
right?
just my take on the cheesy picks there. It
Very
can
okay.
really lack down there, but
It's a little bit crazy. Not
it's
gonna lie.
crazy. But still, if they need something bursty here, Jays. When it comes to RSG, the only burst I can see is actually the Suyo. So there you go. The Cleed will be locked in.
Yep.
So
It's tanky.
They
It
just some
fulfills.
sort-
Yeah, it's tanky. It fulfills what you do as a high loss. But on top of that, you have that early game advantage. You want to stop the Grandeur and you want to stop the Fanny from basically scaling out of control. So Khalid fits that bill. So it's actually a lot better as compared to a high loss. So I agree with Amos in that one. So with that said, it feels like we've already secured the draft in a sense. We're looking at a very strong tanky front line in the form of Hilda and the Gato Kacha. And from there, you work magic with the True on the Grandeur once again. You work magic with the Juice in to be able to drag the person back into the Granger's first skill to basically gun them down.
a very tanky lineup we are seeing here for both teams, Jays. So the question is this a damage lead though on the EXP? Are we going to expect? So far, no, it's actually a roam Khalid that we are seeing here.
Yeah,
Jay
roam
is
Khalid.
going to use that one.
Yeah, Rome Khalid's fine. I think it makes more sense because, like what I mentioned, you really need to try to basically counteract against the early game of True as well.
Okay, Jet is somehow suffering some damage there, popping that revitalize in the early stages of the game. So far here, the Hilda also trying to invade the enemy jungle here against RSG SG.
You Hilda, I mean that's the power of Hilda, right?
Yeah.
You have better wave clear as compared to closer, right?
Yeah, let's see right now here in this game. It's actually Jay going on the roam. I thought this is going to be an EXP Khalid, but now, this is going to be Icon trying to be very aggressive at this moment in time, but of course, to no avail for now.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right? As long as you don't give kills over to the Fanny in the early game, the Fanny wouldn't be able to scale. And something interesting always, I realized from Icon, usually you expect Fannies to have the lethal ignition, right? In Pure Rage, something that goes for a more, how do I say it, a little bit more defensive, not say DPS, a more sustainable kind of Fanny. You expect like first item, Blade of Hephaestus, and then after that follow up with a War Axe, right?
Want that heavy damage because, as mentioned, right, the burst is really needed here, especially for the side of Ignite Gaming. But Icon, he's gonna be the one who's going to finish to be the cleanup party here. So now the turtle is up in this first phase of our game. And both teams have the vision for now. And remember, Jay doesn't have yet the ultimate available.
It doesn't really need to activate because look at the damage that Jay can actually do. Blade drags Jay all the way back, but he actually does a lot of damage back to Blade.
Yeah, flickers out, and now there's going to be sustained with the Sun Guard once again. So no contest whatsoever here. Even though IG has the vision, they cannot really go all in because Icon is far way out. And now Jay could have suffered the damage here, almost been taken down as well.
Yeah, actually, Icon burns away the ultimate at the same time, unable to finish Dom onto Jay. But if you notice how RSG is making sure that Ignite Gaming doesn't hit, especially for Blade, right, doesn't hit level 4 by the turtle. Roy was the one that hit level 4 first. So RSG was able to secure the turtle for themselves even faster.
So going to sacrifice the first objective here on the game, but still it continues here with the roam coming in from the side of Jay. Now all ultimates are still pretty much available for both teams right now. So we're looking on the top side. So I think Moscow here, CS and Chu just doing it pretty safe here.
Yep. Supportive
Okay.
combat happening around the bottom side. Jay and Jet, the double J's fighting against each other. As of now, Blade, on the other hand, with this Juicing, actually makes it very hard for Jay.
Oh, Jay is indeed out of position here with this Raging Sandstorm to turn the battle around, and that is going to be Utah with a flicker and the finishing blow as well. Jay will be the target trying to run away, and he did. And that was just a surprise attack we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's why we call Jay Dr. J, right? Like the fact that he's so creative in all this kind of formations when it comes to this kind of gameplay. Just a point blank ultimate so that he could basically run away in the nick of time.
Wow, the flicker and the ultimate hit there coming in from Utah secures the first blood in the game. RSG knows about how aggressive Ignite Gaming is, and they will still continue here on the top side for RSG. J backing out, Jet trying to control, but that is going to be Spear trying to fend them off. And AOG missing its mark, and look at this one, the chase coming on against CS, but he is out of position. Utah right now is overpowered here with the numbers coming in from RSG.
Yeah, dominated this descent. Continue on the chase just a little bit, but you can start to see that it was a very good defense coming up from RSG to dissuade the pressure coming out from Ignite Gaming on top. There's 4 men right up there, man.
Yeah, is it me or the Icon is actually prioritizing split pushes here? I'm not seeing him joining the team fights in the early of this match here.
Yeah, I feel like Icon right now doesn't really have the items as of yet to basically assassinate. How do you assassinate against a Moskov? It's basically your counter, right? Or do you assassinate Closer? Closer can easily push you away So Badang is also a very good counter against a Fanny as well. So Icon is forced to assassinate onto the Khalid, but Khalid also heals and counter heals at the same time. So it's really hard for Icon to do anything in this particular game.
So that's maybe we're seeing right now Icon prioritizing the split push, but here in the Turtle Dance right now, Jets is alone in this situation. Closer pin him, and that is going to be a kill once again for RSG, and Utah still has the vision.
Yep, definitely. RSG easily. With 1 man down, RSG is a lot. It gives a lot more room for RSG to navigate around the turtle pit, and that's when the vast difference in the experience come into play, right? Ignite Gaming, yes, they've been into MPL Singapore for once in a while, but RSG, you've got Jay, you got Roy, you got Closer and CS, who's really grown very well over the past 2 seasons in terms of player.
And Icon is having a difficult time here on the Fanny Jays. I think he cannot even contest the turtle takedown, cannot even go into the team fights. So he only prioritizes here the split push. So basically we're seeing a 4v5 all throughout this team fights.
Yeah, like Icon, I think he needs to wait for a right opportunity to basically find the assassination. I think the only target that Ignite Gaming from the side of Icon could actually do, perhaps even onto Yon, right? Assassinate the assassin. That's probably how Ignite Gaming could play this one.
I think this is now going to be a team fight we're brewing here in the middle of the river, and Jay is always there on the front lines, and the rest of Ignite Gaming is just playing it accordingly to the safety of their net here, and RSG going to go for the conceal, and the rest here just trying to go back.
The Conceal Blade basically push Ignite Gaming away, alleviate a little bit of pressure for CS. Don't forget, the longer game goes, CS should be able to basically pick up the necessary items. He's gonna start even hurting.
Oh, Raging Sandstorm, but Blade will now going to whack away. Look at the damage here. Utah flickers back AOG for the counter attack here. There comes now Icon trying to spin it, but no damage whatsoever. Now SOD hits on the top side, trying to fend off this pushing lane.
Yeah, it's really nice that SOD. He could just literally TP all the way back to the top side and defend that and get back the goal that he's missing because of the SOD. So a really wise play is coming out from CS, joining the fight at the middle as well. And basically, Ignite Gaming, they really doesn't. I don't see how they're gonna play this one, right? Like, whatever that Ignite Gaming is throwing at RSG, it wasn't sticking.
They still lack the damage here at this moment in time. We've seen Chu, right, popping up in the later stage of the game, especially with itemizations on hand. But so far right now, they only have to react or only have to evade those kind of situations RSG is trying to pull through.
Turtle is up. Icon on the other side of the map, but don't forget he's a Fanny. He can be anywhere in the map as of now. RSG does have a good setup around the turtle pit as well. Closer trying to pull it towards them instead, but you're looking at the amount of space that RSG is working. It's actually a very scary.
Oh, they cannot penetrate here. Rion still secures the turtle here. AOG coming in from the Jet. SOD hits as well, and now the pin down here with the fist crack as well. Jet will fall, even though with that revitalized battle spell.
Oh man, if Icon cannot assassinate CS right there, that's actually a big problem, because you're supposed to be able to assassinate the marksman.
Oh, this is really difficult here, especially now they have controlled the bottom turret here for RSG SG. Literally, Ignite Gaming cannot pick up anyone here against RSG.
Yeah, because your side lanes are actually really mobile. It counters everything that Icon wants to do, and now, unfortunately, look at that. Icon just not playing a very good game.
Oh man.
That's why the Badang and the Moskov counters the Fanny.
The pin down, the lockdown, and the kill. Icon really has a hard time here in this game. Oh man.
First pick Fanny is not working well for the side of Ignite Gaming. Now Ignite Gaming has to replay and rethink about this particular draft. How are they going to work? Don't forget, it's only best of one. You have to make Icon work. You have to make this Fanny work.
And now CS has 2 kills already. And now Convergence here in the middle of the river as well. Will they be able to go for a team fight? Now the taunt connects here. Jay as well with a Desert Tornado. Look at the damage here coming in from the side of Royd, and Jet backs away, and Chu trying to fend off this push here. And look at John flanking maneuver, cleaning up everyone there. A triple.
Man, Closer going back to the Maniac instead, man. The sets coming off from RSG is unstoppable. Closer, the wall pinning everybody down. All 4 people right there. On top of the Dominator's descent at the same time. And then after that, Yon just spits at them. Everybody dies. Man, because it's an execution.
This is just insane here coming in from RSG SG. Just like that. Damage is insane coming in from the side of Yon. And I thought that they lacked the burst, but Yon is enough here with the killing spree.
Yeah, definitely, right? And don't forget, it's a very nice setup coming out from Closer. Roy was the one who dominated the descent, just slowing everybody down, the stun as well. Let's take a look at the replay. Hopefully it slows down for a little bit, even though, yes, Jay was there a little bit slower in terms of the pill. And actually, I can't even see anything right here. Suddenly, everybody dies because of the damage coming out from Roy. And also Closer.
This is insane indeed. And now no contest here in the Lord takedown. The split push that we are been looking for Icon here in this situation, going into the top side. This is the best you can take, but SOD is hitting his mark. Still cannot push through here. It's really difficult for Icon to really go into this macro play.
Yeah, now True is having a lot of problems. We thought that True really comfortable on a Grandeur, but then you've got Closer just to really initiate up. It's making it very hard for Ignite Gaming to do anything.
Oh, now the push still continues here. Remember, the Holy Shields is out already in the middle lane. This is going to be a perfect opportunity here for RSG to go ill. And look at the damage here coming from CES. Now Jay on the forward. Utah and the rest of the team here backs away. But Yon once again secures the kill there. And they have no answers here. Now joining into team fight is going to be Icon securing the kill against Roy. And now Inhibitor Tart gone here in the middle lane. Roy out, but the middle Tart has been secured.
Man, it feels like RSG is on a speed run right here. They're hungry for dinner, and they're looking at Ignite Gaming. You're in the way of dinner. I'll just eat you instead. You're my dinner now.
And now they are going into the top side. This moment in time, Blade as well as Chu doing their best to fend off the siege, but they cannot do so. 2 Inhibitor Tarts in a row.
Yeah, it's just so difficult, right? Top side and the mid is already cracked open. It's a very fast-paced game. I don't think Ignite Gaming was also aware of the amount of damage of the burst. If you take a look at the goal lead right here, yes, there's so many money backs. 10K goal lead is massive. Thank you so much for the graph, but that's massive. There's a red Mount Everest being built by RSG.
Yon right now with the 612 KDA on that Suyo. One of the few games that we have seen that Suyo really popping up, and with his composition coming in from RSG is really incredible as well. This pin down coming in from Closer as well as Jay is enough for Yon to finish up the plays there. And look at the optimizations right now coming in from CS alone. He's almost full item now.
Yeah. What do they do? 10K goal lead. Literally. Yon still smacking. He's unstoppable right now. That Maniac basically allowed him to escalate in uncontrollably. He's already a massive monster that Ignite Gaming doesn't really have the silver bullet to put down.
And they don't need the Lord to push here. I mean, they are very confident right now to actually go inside the base here. Anyway, 35 seconds until the next Lord will respawn into the game. But as Ignite Gaming, in this current situation, really difficult to go contest on that objective takedown.
Yeah, it's really tough. How do you climb back up?
Wow.
True is not able to scale, right? He doesn't really have the Skypiercer stacks that we saw, but it only takes one good ultimate. And I'm looking at Jet to pull off the ultimate of history. It's not like a Badang where basically you can lock multiple people down. At the very least, Jet is the only one that I can foresee that have the same effect of a Badang.
And now RSG SG here with this composition. is the tankiness. I think it's really difficult for Icon to pick off anyone, right? So this is why also the Zas has been secured. So it's really limited for Icon to pick anyone there against the side of RSG SG. Now the Lord has been secured. This could be the last play that we are going to see.
Yeah, Jay, just that taunt. Ignite Gaming is afraid. It started with Jay being, you know, the main damage dealer at the early game. Also, just slowing down the mid laner's growth. Blade's growth is stunted because of the aggression coming off from Jay. And you can see how time and time again Icon tried to assassinate Jay, but ultimately he is just countered by all three lanes.
Yeah, correct. If you are going to target Jay, all resources are going to be expended for sure. And you don't want that. You need to have prime targets locked in. And now the Lord is going to push through. Oh, look at the conceal coming inside of Ignite Gaming here. Oh, the blaze did not connect! Oh, the row! This is going to be a massive meltdown here against Ignite Gaming. This is going to be now the finishing blow as well. A CS going for auto attacks. Concentrate here on the base, and this is going to be it.
This is how you counter the Fanny. First pick Fanny. This is how you counter it. The Moscow, the Badang. Now it makes sense coming off from Amox, right? And if you want to try to, and remember we were talking about, you know, some of the hideouts perhaps, right? We talk about, you know, even the other kind of tanks, but none has the ability to counter the Fanny. Because don't forget, we're all hyping up Icon's Fanny. He's really good at it. But then again, you have a Badang, you have a Moskov, you have a Khalid. You can waste, you can spin, you can spin to the win and cancel that. Use your ultimate. The Khalid can heal. You want to find that damage onto the Zaz. The Zaz goes into Dominator's Descent, and all of a sudden, what can you do?
Yeah.
Fly away.
Limited target already coming in from the side of Icon, and we highlighted the Chew on that Granger. He can really wreak havoc if he can scale. So that's the point where the Fanny has been picked priority there for the side of Ignite Gaming. Fortunately, Coach Amox, he knew the game plan right there, so he goes for the tanky composition, and plus the Zax. I also doubted the Zax. I mentioned also the Farsa could be good because they lack the burst, the Aurora, because they lack the burst damage. But suddenly, bam, Yon on that Suyo is enough to clean up everyone there.
Yeah, because don't forget, Suyo's second skill is an execution, right?
Correct.
If you're down to a certain percentage, you basically kill them off. So all you need to do is provide that small little burst, and I think that burst comes from the Zaz. Let's take a look at the stats right here. Man, what a game coming out from the side of RSG. This is the RSG that we need going into Team Evil earlier just now. Just take a look closer. Zero depths. RJ also 0 depths. CS is 0 depths, even facing against Shu and his most comfortable hero.
OMG. And I thought that Sky Piercer was secured by Yon, but no. No Sky Piercer there. It's just incredible damage we're seeing here coming in from Yum. Yeah, and it doesn't need that one. And it is enough really to burst out anyone against IG. It just feel bad for Icon here on his Fanny. That was the first pick. Looking forward for this pick-off engagement in the early stage of the game, but it has really not popping off. Even though, look at his itemizations. Heptaseas, Malefic Roar, War Axe. These are heavy physical damage that you are badly needed for a Fanny, but we haven't seen that much of an execution play for this player.
Yeah, I'm also looking at a Jet in terms of AOG. We remember we were talking about how, you know, you can potentially turn around. You just need True to start to snowball, right? But Jet is unable to land a good AOG. Just take a look. If you land an AOG, you're going to get punched down by the Badang, and after that, you know, Jay can also go in the Raging Sandstorm to basically counteract against your taunt. Then after that, you don't really have... I was thinking that, hey, Yuta can go in with the secondary stun onto a certain special target, but there's so many tools and so many kits coming up from RSG that's able to counteract against what Ignite Gaming has.
Yeah, plus we've seen the cross-map plays executed by Icon because he knew that he cannot execute anyone. But then again, CS on Moskov, as you mentioned, is weakness of Fanny. SOD is there. He tried to push the top turret, but the SOD suddenly came up. Now the push has been expanded there. So it's really difficult there for Ignite Gaming to have some game plan, to rely most of the strategies here for the Fanny alone. So they need Chu to pop up, but it's really difficult for him to really scale as well without any kills.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know, like we've seen Moskov going up against the Grandeurs, right? Moskov struggles in the early game, but CS, just take a look. If there is an award, if I have an award in my hand right now, the most improved player, I give it to CS. I give it to Closer because these two side laners from RSG, they have grown a lot.
And Jay is fitting this growth as well because of his game micro plays there on the Khalid. Just incredible to see and how they pull through on this ganks coming in from the side of RSG SG. Managed actually to prolong the team fight for the rest of the team of Ignite Gaming to have the counter punch.
With that said, let's go. You said Yon, I said Jay. Let's take a look at the MVP slide. It's none other than
Yeah,
Jay
okay.
as well. It's going to be Khalid.
Yep. Okay. You're right.
105. What do you mean I'm right? Do you think I'm right?
And speaking of which, Jay, right? He really fits, as you have mentioned, right? Jay is pretty good here on RSG. He's going to be very aggressive. You've seen Jay also on the Jawhead. If we've seen him on the Jawhead on the Kalea at this moment in time.
Definitely, I want to see how he uses this one, or how he utilizes this one.